This one's going to be Geo Final 1 problem 13, question 13, Q13. Okay? And so we're going to find the slope using 2 points. And to find the slope, I just use the method I call flip it and smack it. Okay? Now they have an equation. The equation is m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Whereas this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. Now it doesn't matter whether you put the y's first or second. It doesn't matter. Okay? What matters is when we put these in order. And so what I found is, I have dyslexia. So when I plug things into a formula, a lot of times they get backwards. So the way I trained my brain to do that, without getting them wrong, because in college you fail really quickly when you get things wrong. So you want to make sure that you get things in order. So I had 6 over 2, right? So I'm just bringing it down. So I have 3 over 4. And what I'm doing there is I make sure the y is on top, right? So the y's are always on top, okay? And I'm just flipping it. That's it. I'm just flipping this so that I have 6 over 2 and 3 over 4. And that's my flip it method. Okay? And then my smack it method is really simple. I just smack the center of it. And then I run. And the whole story behind this is that, I tell my geometry students, my algebra students, that I taught my daughters early that if somebody comes up behind them, they're to flip around, smack them in the throat, kick them in the groin, and run. And that's exactly what you're doing here. You flip it, and you smack it up top, down below, and you run with it. And that gets you your solution. Okay? And all it is a nice, funny way of remembering how to do the formula. Okay? If you can remember y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, great. But most of my students can't. So I find out a nice, funny way to remember it, and then we just do it. And now it's just math. 6 minus 3, 2 minus 4. And so this is my slope. Okay? And that's problem 13. Now if we look at problem 14 really quick, since we're on a roll, I'll bet you it asks you to find the formula of the line.
Find the equation of the line that goes through the following 2 points, -2, 8, and 4, 6.
So I'm going to show you how to do it with this one. And then I want you to try to do it with that one that has different numbers. Okay? So you do the same thing. To find an equation of a line for number 14, you do the same thing. Alright? You would flip it and smack it, find the slope. But once you have the slope, you need this equation. Y equals mx plus b. I call this my goddess equation. The goddess equation because it controls all of linear algebra. You can't do anything without this equation, but you can do everything with this equation. Okay? This equation solves anything in linear algebra. So, as long as you know this equation, you're pretty good to go in linear algebra. Okay? So, that's why I call it the goddess equation. It takes care of you in any situation. I just need to know m. Well, I found m. And now I need to know x and y. And the good part about this is we have an x and y right up here. So all we have to do is plug that in. So I have a y, it's 6. I have an m, it's 3 over 2, or -2. And I have a 2, that's x. Okay? Plus b. And so when I multiply these, this is really 2 over 1. These 2 cancels out. So I have 2 goes into 2, -1 goes into 3, -3 times, okay? And now I just do the opposite, sad map. Okay, add 3. So now, once I know b and I know m, I have everything I need for my equation. It goes right back to y equals mx plus b, except now it's y equals x, and now I just plug in my m, 3 over negative 2, and my b, plus 9. And this is the equation of the line. And if I want to graph it, the next stage would be very simple. Go to plus 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then from that point, from B, this is rise over run. Rise over run. And so I have 3 over negative 2. My rise is 3, so I'm rising up 1, 2, 3. But my run is negative 2. If I'm going to run negatively, it means I just go backwards. Okay? So I'm going to go 1, 2. Okay? And that's where my next point is. And there she is. And we'll get into why this is a negative slope. We come back to the face. This is a negative slope. This is a positive slope. This is no solution. This is a zero slope. This is when x equals. This is when y equals. And we got the face. And with all of that, that's linear algebra.